Welcome back to What the Study Says. All right, today we're stepping right into the ring for one of the most confusing fights in the entire grocery store, the Great Sweetener Showdown. For years, we've heard all the conflicting reports, right? Are they a dieter's miracle, or are they some kind of hidden health hazard? Well, what if the final bell was about to ring on this whole debate? Because a major new study just published this year, 2025, in the incredibly prestigious journal Nature Metabolism might just be the heavyweight champion of evidence we've been waiting for to finally settle the score.
Oh, you know the feeling. You're standing there in the aisle, you're trying to be healthy, you want to cut back on sugar, and you are just staring at this wall of choices. Do I grab this one with the sugar or that one with the sweeteners? The advice is all over the place, it's totally contradictory, and at least most of us just completely stumped. So what's the deal? Are these things actually helping us, or are they secretly hurting us? And this slide just captures the confusion perfectly. I mean, think about it. On one side, you've got the World Health Organization, the WHO, issuing a formal recommendation against using these sweeteners for weight control. But then on the other side, you walk into basically any store, and they are everywhere. They're in thousands of products. It's this huge disconnect that shows you exactly why we have been so desperate for some really good, high-quality evidence. And that, right there, is where this new research, called the SWEET study, comes in. Now, this wasn't just another little short-term experiment. No way. This was a massive, multi-center, one-year study designed to be the definitive word on the long-term effects of sweeteners. This, folks, is the main event. Now, to make sure this was a fair fight, the researchers used what's known as the scientific gold standard, a randomized controlled trial, or an RCT. All that really means is they randomly put people into different groups to keep things as unbiased as possible. It's the best way to make sure that the results you're seeing are actually because of the thing you're testing, and in this case, that's the sweeteners. So how did they actually set this whole thing up? It was a really smart two-phase plan. First, they took 341 adults and had them all lose at least 5% of their body weight to get everyone to a similar starting point. Then, for the main event, they split them into two groups for the next 10 months. Both groups followed the exact same healthy, low-sugar diet, but with one critical difference. One group was allowed to use products with sweeteners, and the other group was not. The question was simple: who would be better at keeping the weight off? So, after a full year, what did they find? It's time for the first big result. Round 1, the official weigh-in. Did the sweeteners actually make a difference when it came to the scale? And the winner is the sweetener group. Yep, after one full year, the group that used sweeteners as part of their diet maintained, on average, 1.6 kilograms, that's about 3.5 pounds, more weight loss than the group that didn't. Now, that might not sound like a ton, but in the world of weight loss studies, that is a real, tangible difference. And you can see that result so clearly right here. The bar for the sweetener group shows they just did better at keeping that weight off. It wasn't some dramatic overnight miracle, but it was a consistent, measurable advantage for the people using sweeteners. The big point is they really seem to be a helpful tool. But wait, it gets even better. Check this out. The researchers thought, okay, what about the people who really stuck to the diet, the A+ students, Well, when they looked at just that group, the difference just exploded. It grew to a whopping 3.7 kilograms. That's over 8 pounds more weight loss maintained. Now that is a huge deal. It really suggests that the more you commit to the healthy diet, the more these sweeteners can actually be a powerful ally. Okay, so weight is one thing. But what about the other big question that's always hanging over sweeteners? What are they doing to our gut bacteria? This has been a huge point of debate for years, so the researchers put it under the microscope. Time for round 2, the gut check. And the results here were, well, they were a really fascinating mix. A bit of good news and a bit of a catch. So the good news, the sweetener group actually saw an increase in some really beneficial gut bacteria. We're talking about the kinds that produce something called short-chain fatty acids. But here's the catch. That same group also reported more of those kind of minor but annoying gastrointestinal side effects. Things like a bit of extra gas or some cramping. So why should we even care about these short-chain fatty acids, or SCFAs for short? Well, turns out they are fantastic little compounds. Your good gut bacteria make them, and they're linked to all sorts of positive health effects, like reducing inflammation and, get this, improving satiety, which is that feeling of being full and satisfied. So an increase in the bacteria that make these, that is generally seen as a very good thing. All right, let's bring it all home. We've seen the results on weight, we've looked at the gut check, so what's the final verdict here? When the bell rings, are artificial sweeteners a friend or a foe in your health journey? The researchers themselves were incredibly clear. In their conclusion, published right there in Nature Metabolism, they state that long-term consumption of sweeteners and sweetness enhancers as part of a healthy diet is, and I'm quoting here, a safe strategy for obesity management. Wow. That is about as strong and direct a statement as you can get from a top-tier scientific journal. So let's boil this all down. What's the bottom line for you? Here it is. First, this huge study suggests that yes, sweeteners can be a really helpful tool for maintaining weight loss. Second, and this part is absolutely crucial, this only applies when they're part of an overall healthy, low-sugar diet. This isn't a free pass to eat whatever you want. Third, they might actually give your gut bacteria a little beneficial nudge. And finally, just know that for some people, they might cause some minor tummy troubles, so you gotta listen to your own body. This new evidence really changes the whole conversation, doesn't it? It suggests that when we use them the right way, sweeteners can be much more of a friend than a foe. The question isn't just, are they bad for you anymore? Now, it's more like, how can they best fit into a healthy lifestyle? So, knowing all this, what about you? Will you be reaching for that diet soda or sticking with plain old water? That's what this study says. If this explainer helped clear up some of the endless confusion, be sure to subscribe to What the Study Says, and maybe share it with a friend who's also been wondering about sweeteners. We'll see you next time.